as you start to see kind of the season of real estate, are those agents going to survive that are just kind of sitting back?
You know what? It's funny you brought this up. It's as challenging as this market can be for some that aren't used to having, lower ends, like lower sales at this late in the season already. It does separate, what does that say? The dogs from the pack, or the
Yeah.
so I guess it's the wrong way, the men from the boys. That's not probably the right way to say
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
we had so many agents come in during the pandemic, and they just have never experienced even having the conversation sometimes of having a price reduction, setting expectations, having these long listing periods, and being able to manage emotions. I mean, that is such a strong tool. I literally just had 3 conversations this morning of managing expectations and emotions to keep my clients at bay, especially in a market right now where a lot of people are in a really tough situation. And if you're not getting those sales coming in, at the end of the day, like, this costs so much to be a strong listing agent and the marketing. And if you can't provide that, then you're going to be a really strong buying agent. And if you don't have the means to make it for the next 3 months, the pressure, I know I felt the pressure to get those deals done. You got to get a desperate smell around you. And some people, they take that and they dive in and they do the deals that they wouldn't have done, or had those calls that they wouldn't have actually made, or totally changed their routine to create an entirely different business. Or there's the ones that, maybe don't advise the best way they possibly should have, maybe priced the property too low, and maybe did those quick deals, which we all know those quick deals always end up with more problems in the end sometimes.
They do. And like you said, you end up saying yes to things that just absolutely consume you, right? Consume your time. And it's just almost an unrealistic, situation. And it's really the opportunity cost, right? Because of the time invested that it doesn't even end up going anywhere. And, it's funny how, we'll just kind of talk ourselves into, okay, this is going to make sense. Maybe I can get other deals from it. I can do, but it's like,
yeah,
what are you really missing out on by saying yes to that? And really knowing what is a real opportunity in today's market, and just not getting caught up, and better off being, like you said, second or third agent, because go let all these other agents that are desperate, that are saying yes to these people that are not able to get them the results because they don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to manage expectations. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to do really anything other than take orders and just kind of check the boxes. And so you're right. You're better off being the second or third agent coming in, and when they're absolutely ready, to be realistic with what they're trying to accomplish. Where are you kind of drawing the line that, yeah, we can move forward, or no, this isn't going to work. I'm not the agent for you. And even kind of conveying that with your team, like what questions, like you said, the qualification things, what are you trying to pull out of buyers and sellers right now that they need to say yes to these things, or it's got to be a hard no?
Well, I think we know I'm about $2,000 as soon as I sign that contract with any listing. I already know that's going out the window. And then it just goes up from there. And that involves my video marketing, my ads, and transactions, everything to get it to that point. So I need to know that this house is going to sell, because we might list 10 homes a month. There's 20,000 out there that I need to make sure we're getting back. So knowing your numbers, and actually having a goal plan in your head of what this is worth to you as well. So I guess on the listing side of things, I need to know that we're going to actually get this property moved. And if we're not going to move, we have a long-term relationship that we're going to be working with together. And ultimately, I think everything comes down to right now is price and how the home is prepped. So when do I walk away? When we're not aligned on price. Like if we're 75,000 or even 25,000 out on pricing, depending on the price point that we're in, and there's just no budging and moving on that. And I'm stuck in where I'm at, and they're stuck there. We're not meeting in the middle, not even in a little bit. Why am I going to go to market? Why does someone want to work with me when we're not aligned? It's a team effort at the end of the day. And I tell my clients that all the time, like, this is a team. Like, you're not wrong and I'm not wrong, and I'm not right and you're not right. But here's what we're seeing. This is what makes sense. And this is where I think it needs to be. And let me live my lane of being the professional where I need to be, so I can advise them accordingly.
Yeah.
That's what
it's I mean, there's no 100% slam dunk. This thing's going to buy, sell. It's just, the highest probability, right? We're giving ourselves the highest probability. And I think that's why we want to have great processes, because great processes, great systems give us a higher probability of success. And I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it is the qualification side of things. And we used to always joke, and it really wasn't a joke because it was so true. You know, the one question you don't ask is the question you're going to get hit with, right? It's the thing that you're going to get hit. It could be the 2x4 that, you know, makes the deal fall apart if you don't do all of the homework and the due diligence on the front end and the front side of things. And it's getting back to, you know, really having a set process and being able to go through that. And I know, you know, even for you, right? Even, you know, you do so much marketing and stuff and such a great job that people just reach out to you and it's like, hey, Georgia, come, we're ready to sell, right? It's, you know, you still get into competing situations, but fewer. Even if you are in a competing situation, they're already kind of leaning towards you just with your marketing and your branding. And if you don't follow the process, even to that point where you feel it's a slam dunk, it's gonna be disaster. It really is going to be disaster for us. You know, moving into this climate, this kind of market.
And to touch on that too, because the one thing with following the process is everyone will say something. Okay, I have a big example person. So I was at a house last week. I'm going to meet with them this week. And they said, I only want to buy this property if, you know, we get over 1.3 million for our house. I'm looking at them. I already know it's not worth 1.3, but you know, a lot of people will go, we're never going to get 1.3, you know, it's never going to happen. But I want to follow my process, because once I walk them through the comparables, once I educate them on what I'm seeing and show them where I'm coming from, that number can change just like that. And I think we can all relate to a lot of situations like that, but follow the process, because you can lose a lot of gold. Because if you don't do it that way, you're going to see someone else's sign up on that front lawn, maybe for the price they originally wanted, but you know, they might do that price drop really quickly and it might sell, and they maybe did that process that they needed to do through it. So always follow every step that you take, and don't write anything off until you feel you're so far in the process that this just isn't working or making sense. I don't know, everyone in the world last week said their house was 1.3 to me. I don't know, there's something in the world. Like, okay, we have some work to do, and it's a lot of homework, right?
Yeah.
So much homework to educate them on that pricing. But I truly,
but yet, if you say yes and you don't do that work on the front end, it's 2 to 3 to 4 times as much work down the road, and you maybe don't even get compensated for all of that time and that work. Being able to do that,
probably don't.
Yeah.
That's exactly that, and that's again just working smarter. And every time that I've walked away from a deal, we just didn't have, you know, our minds just didn't meet on a number that didn't make sense. You know, it always comes back, even with a referral. I literally lost out from a multiple listing opportunity. There was 5 agents. I don't know why they ended up going with another agent. I think it was 5 people involved, but the one guy that asked me to do it already gave me a referral, and I didn't even get the one to represent his family. And it's hilarious how that all works, because he saw my process and he loved that. It's amazing.